Welcome, welcome, welcome to today's episode of Voices of Influence. And I am on a mission to go out and find people and personalities and businesses that I think have reached a certain stature that they have influence and we can learn from them. So there's something really valuable and important that they've learned in their journey that I'm hoping to have a conversation with and impart to you, the viewer. So I want to bring into the room our guest today. This is Brother Ben X, and just a little bit about Brother Ben here. He already has gotten over 500 million views on social media and has over 1 million followers. So this is something that we can all aspire to do. He's also a student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam. And his philosophy in life is give life mentally, spiritually, and economically. So welcome, Brother Ben X. How are you today?
I'm doing well. I thank you for having me.
Yeah, we are excited to have you here and hopefully get some nuggets of wisdom from you. So let's jump right into here. So I've been having a lot of conversations, interestingly, lately on that big leap. You know, going from corporate worker, doing the grind, putting your energy into other people, really into taking that leap and starting to put yourself to work in your own business. What have you learned on your journey in that?
What I've learned is your purpose has to be more impactful than your job. Like when I was on my job, I was almost suffocating because every time I went there, I was just feeling like, this is not a place for me. I had to have a battle within myself every day. Do I want to go? Do I not want to go? So when you have a purpose and when you find your real why, which isn't just making money, because you're never going to reach that. I mean, the more money you make, the more money you're going to eventually want. So what I teach my students is focus on passive impact, not passive income, because the more people you impact, the more income will come. So when you truly find your purpose, when you truly find your why, then you won't even be able to consciously go to this job knowing that you're not really fulfilling your purpose. And the one time that I had my epiphany was when I was at FedEx one day, and I had a thought in my mind. I said, if I throw 1,000 more boxes on a truck next week than I did this week, my paycheck is still going to be the same. But if I work for myself, if I had a service that I'm providing to other people, if I had a product that I'm providing to other people, the more I do in production, the more reward or the more money that I get. So faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not yet seen. So if we're struggling with faith in taking that leap, there's nothing new under the sun. The only thing that we have to do is find somebody else who's already done it, because we always would like to think that we're doing something new, but oftentimes it's not new. And if it is new, there's a principle somewhere else in somebody else or a book that you can find. So when you see how somebody else was homeless and they overcame it, when you see how somebody else dropped out of college and they overcame it, then that gives you a little bit more faith that you can do it as well. And then I want us to go back and look at all the things that you have accomplished. Some of us, because of our limiting beliefs that we have due to low self-esteem or somebody else talking down on us, we overlook all the great achievements that we already have. Maybe when you was 10, you overcame something and you forgot about it. Maybe when you was 17, you overcame something and you forgot about it. But if you can remember all of the things that God was able to help you overcome in your past, maybe that'll be a reminder that you can do it right now in your present.
Well, I love what you said about, the purpose and making a passive difference and not passive income. I was a Fortune 250 corporate burnout story, and exactly what you're saying. I was working my rear end off. My health, I went high on the ladder, but my health was totally declining, and that was the price that I was paying. And at the end of the day, I kept saying to myself, why am I working this hard for people to have really fast oil changes? Is that the legacy that I really want in my life? And it was really that sense of contribution and wanting to do something bigger in the world that bolstered, my big leap in 2007. And, it's not a straight road. That climb to the top isn't a straight road. It's, you're going to feel like you're on top of the mountain one day and you're got your face in the mud the next. What have you learned from your own personal journey on, getting your face out of the mud when you find yourself there?
Well, as scripture says, the race is not to the swift nor the strong, but to those who can endure to the end. So life is about ups and downs. You know, you never know what being up feels like really, truly until you've been down. You always have positive, you're always going to have negative. This is the law of polarity. This is just what life is all about. And I think when you're down, it humbles you, because sometimes when you're up, you know, you can get a little big headed sometimes. So you need to be brought down so that you can realize, hey, man, you're not always in full control. Because when you get in entrepreneurship, you can become arrogant as if you can't be fired. But you can be fired by your customer. Your customer is the one who's helping you pay your bills. Your customer is the one who's helping you live your lifestyle. So if you become too big headed and you get too far up, then you also can be brought down by those very people that you're looking down on. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said one time, when you want to raise a people, you can't raise them thinking that you're better than them and on top of them. Whenever you're lifting weights, you got to get up under that weight and then push that weight up using your legs and things of that nature. And when I think about mud, I think about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad talking about uh mud and people throwing mud on somebody's name. He said when somebody is throwing mud, inside of that mud is muddy, but it also has water in it. And that water represents truth. That water represents life. So although it may be appear to be mud, if you use it, you could also use it to purify you. If you look at cow dung, some people say, man, they throwing BS on my name. Well, if you look at cow dung can also be used as fertilizer. So if you take the truth out of your situation, if you look at your situation as a lesson versus a loss, that time when you're in the mud may give you the tools and the mindset to take you even further than where you was when you was on top.
Yeah. Well, I think I've been around the moon maybe a couple more times than you have, but in hindsight, I can look back at those moments when, you know, life seemed terrible, something was going wrong. I literally felt like I was on my knees and had gotten kicked in the face. And there's always this quote that sticks out to me, which is, you know, where the cracks develop is where the light comes in. And so sometimes, you know, it takes those harder moments for us to really have the amazing breakthrough through, or see something in a different way and be able to, you know, start that climb back up, because life isn't just a bed of roses and it's not always easy. And, you know, yeah, we ride the high tides and things are great, but right around the corner, there could be another obstacle or something else to help guide our journey.
And this is, and to add to that, another thing that I got from the ministers is he says that adversity, adversity is the mother of creativity. So a lot of times we come up with our creative ideas because of the adversity that we are in. A lot of times we become so productive because of the situations that we was in. I was touring in DC one day. I think it was DC or Baltimore, one of them, Frederick Douglass House. And as the tour guide was giving us the tour, he was talking about a lot of the inventions and things that he was providing to the people working for him, because he was once a slave. He worked very hard. He understood what it felt like to be treated like a slave. He understood what it felt like to be out in the cold. And they said they used to throw food out and they used to have to rustle for the food. So he actually, because of the condition that he was in, came up with equipment that his workers could use to make their job easier because of what he'd been through. If he never been through that, he probably wouldn't have had those ideas to create this equipment for them to be able to use. So whatever situation that you're in, don't look at it as, you know, just opposition. Also look at it as an opportunity to create something that can help yourself and generations to come.
Yeah. It's almost strange for me now, because I know when I get into that uncomfortable space, whether it's in a connection with somebody or something with business, there's part of me that's almost a little excited, because I'm like, all right, I'm not seeing something. Something is going to come clear to me that if it didn't get uncomfortable, I wouldn't see it yet. So I love that. So you use the term digital real estate a lot in your work and a lot of the things you do. What is that? Can you just define it for us?
So digital real estate is showing you how to build assets and bring in cash flow online, to just sum it up.
Okay. So it has a lot of different components, and you know, not necessarily for my viewer, but a lot of my hosts, you know, my channel hosts on Well World TV for example, they have coaching programs, they have, readings that they do, they have different things and products and services that they sell. So really it encompasses all of that.
Yep. It just shows you how to, for example, Facebook is land, YouTube is land, Instagram is land.
Okay.
My own profile could be land, and every
Mhm.
video that I put up could be property. Not only that video, but my intellectual property. Anybody who's into real estate knows that for oftentimes in most states and cities, when you pay off the land, you still got to pay land taxes. When you pay off the property, you still got to pay property taxes. So although I get paid from Facebook, YouTube, things of this nature, they still gonna get their little taxes. They still gonna get their cut out of it. So what I have shown people is how to build up a valuable asset online and get paid from it, whether if it's from a view, whether if it's from somebody buying it, whether if it's from somebody buying a product that you're just an affiliate for. When you look at your home, your mortgage or your rent, you pay that monthly, right? Well, what about if I had a profile that I made valuable? Because a property home, the more valuable that home is, let's say it's a mansion, the bigger it is, the more you pay for it, right? Well, the bigger your profile is, the more valuable your profile is, the more you can get paid from it. And I can get paid monthly. If I got a podcast that's valuable and it's large, well, if you want to advertise to your people or to my people, then you can charge, or I can charge you a weekly fee or a monthly fee. That's bringing in passive income on a residual basis, oftentimes more than what people are getting borrowing money from the bank and then trying to do physical real estate, because the physical real estate, the average door is doing about 250, 500, maybe a little bit more than that. So what people typically tell people to do in real estate, get you a little fourplex. Let those 3 homes pay off the home that you have. Now you don't have any, you're not paying for anything. But with me, I teach people how to do it digitally. So not only can you make thousands of dollars online, but that digital real estate can also pay off your real estate as well. So when you look at it, if you want to do a hotel, my profile can be turned into a hotel. What happens when you go into a hotel? You pay for every night that you're there. After your time is over, you leave. Well, if I got a profile and I say, hey, you want to be on my profile for 24 hours? Here's your fee. You want to be on there 48 hours? Here's your fee. Whenever you're done, you get deleted off the page. Now I have turned it into a hotel. Now, if I got my own commercial property, whatever the case may be, where somebody's paying a monthly fee. Well, if I got 1,000 members or 500 members or 200 members paying me $50 a month, now on a residual basis, now I'm getting paid $5,000. If I got 1,000, I'm getting paid $50,000 a month just because I'm providing a significant value to the marketplace. I always ask people, what does your rent, your mortgage, your Wi-Fi bill, your phone bill, and insurance all have in common? Most people just don't get it. They say, well, it's all a bill. I say, but what kind of bill? I don't know. It's a monthly bill. It's so valuable that people are willing to pay monthly. But what about you? What value do you have? What asset do you have within yourself that you can put up online and people will be willing to pay you $50 a month? That can not only change their life, but it'll change your life as well.
Yeah. And speaking of social media, you've done a great job really in getting engagement and views and followers. A lot of people aspire to do that. What are some of like your top tips? Like, what are the things that you have done that a viewer can practically do to really start to move the needle on that?
Well, what I've done, I have, like you said, over 500 million on Facebook views, over 1 million followers over there. I got Terminated on YouTube at 40 million views. And my YouTube got 252,000 Instagram followers. So what I've done is, which is what I share in my digital real estate program, is the GEA method, which is give, engage, attract. And we do this by impacting, giving value. So I'm giving knowledge for free, maybe. If you want to become the authority in your particular lane, let's say it's finances, you need to give financial game every single day, every single week. If you're not seen on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you're probably going to be non-existent at this point because everybody's looking at those places. Yeah. So a lot of people, because of how they came up, they think the more I keep to myself, the more it's going to make them want to buy from me. It's actually the opposite. The more that you give, now you're gaining trust because information is everywhere. Now you're gaining trust. Now they want to come and actually support you. Law of compensation. Now you engage. What's engage? Meaning when somebody comment, you need to comment back.
Mm.
Meaning going to other pages, other niches, and seeing how they're asking questions to people, and you need to answer their question without telling them to follow you. This is where a lot of people go wrong. They're
Right.
trying to get the
Follow me
quick
down
sale.
here.
Yeah, they trying to get the quick sale. Here go my website, buy, not realizing that's messing up your brand. If you give somebody value without asking for anything back, they're going to say, man, who is this that just gave me free game? Now, when they come to your profile, not only did you give them free game, but you're giving them free game all down your profile, all down your platform, all down your YouTube channel. Now they see the link in your bio. How can I support this person? Because if they giving this type of game for free, I mean, I can only imagine what they're going to give me on a one-on-one basis, on a consulting basis, or on their own program. I know they're going to go a little bit deeper. So that's what I mean by attracting it. So when you put out your knowledge, when you put out your information, and they see what kind of thinking you have, they see what kind of strategy you have, you're going to naturally attract them to your page. So this is how I've gained the followers. This is how I gained the engagement, because it's always valuable, and I'm always listening to the audience. That's why a lot of people go wrong as well. You're giving, but you giving what you think they need. You can
Exactly.
literally ask, what do y'all need? Like, I've done that before. What do y'all want to hear more about? And then now you're not thinking about, man, what can I do today? Do what they told you to do. Do what they're asking about. And if they're not asking you yet because you're not the authority, go on other pages, go on other blogs, go on Facebook groups and see what people are asking, and then create that type of content on your page.
Mm. Yeah, and it's we teach a 4-week program called Video Influencer Boot Camp, but it's really for people that have little to no experience in the video world, in the social media realm. And that's exactly on point, because a lot of times we just want to create content that we want to create, and we have so many different areas of expertise, it starts to have like a sense of ADD to it, is this if it's not consistent. So we teach them how to go online and do some keyword analysis, some key phrase analysis, and say, you need to figure out what the viewer is actually searching for. And then how does that match to your expertise? And, so it's not like you have to create content that doesn't fit who you are, but just build it in a way that people will be able to naturally find it and discover it. Cause I think that's one of the most critical components, is you don't want to waste your time. This is a lot of work, So,
Absolutely. It definitely is. It's a whole nother job. It's not as easy as it looks.
and I'm sure you have like admin and teams that support you now, but at the beginning, when you were just starting out, was that you that was actually engaging and responding and doing all that work?
Everything. So much so I've been doing it so long, it's actually hard to have help, because if they take too
Right.
long, I end up doing it myself. So posting, I used to do skits and I filmed it myself. I had to, I don't know if y'all had to go through this, but I would have to focus. I would have to maybe take like a laptop or a bottle, focus that, try to get myself in the screen. Like I did everything. I had to focus my own camera, shoot it, edit my own stuff, upload it, download it, everything. So I was doing everything, commenting. It took a lot of time. So this is what a lot of people are surprised about. You see the lifestyle, you see we can go, we want to go, do we want to do. But I tell them, hey man, this is because I stayed up many long nights,
Right.
responding and commenting and engaging and giving value and answering emails and DMs to get to where I'm at right now.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, Wall World TV is, we're in I say we're like in our toddler phase. We, our new website just launched, but literally even me as the founder, I'm having all the phone calls. I'm creating thumbnail YouTube graphics. I'm uploading these videos into Facebook Live. And, it's like, that's where it starts. Everybody thinks you're an automatic success, and they don't, it's a lot of hard work to reach, the level where you've reached. And I already knew that, I was like, I guarantee you were up till 1:00 in the morning creating all this stuff and, working your rear end off trying to get it going. But, so how would people get in touch with you? So obviously you have a lot of knowledge, and tell us a little bit about the program that you offer through your, ABS Financial Institute, and then also how people get in touch with you.
So they can get in touch with me by going to my website, brotherbenlinks.com. You can find out about our 50K challenge that we're doing at the end of this month. I don't know if you'll see this live by the time that's over, but We have our What is ABS Tribe, which is a link where you can learn about our ABS Tribe, which is weekly coaching. We bring in other millionaires, other six-figure earners every Tuesday and Thursday. Either I'm teaching and Brother Jake is teaching. On Thursdays, we're doing more so coaching. So whatever they're dealing with throughout the week, whatever challenges they have, we help them on those Thursdays. And then now, because we've been just so impactful to the community, they've created a Wednesday and Friday class. Wednesdays for orientation for those new members who need a little bit more help, and then those Fridays is Friday group networking. So that's how you can do it. Go to whatisaBStribe.com, and from there you'll get into our weekly coaching program. And from there, you'll learn about our other programs. But right now, what we're pushing is just our $50 a month program. Very, very, very affordable.
Yeah.
I had people that's inside of it that has been in masterminds that charge $1,000, $5,000, whatever. And they said that they get way more value inside of that ABS tribe, because we literally give it all we got. I mean, I'm talking about we've went 4 hours, 5 hours on a Zoom call most days. We've went up to 7 hours. More than once, just answering and making sure we're answering everybody's question, making sure we're giving them the step-by-step. So right now, the ABS tribe is what we're pushing. And if anybody want to, email me, you can go to bookbrotherbenx@gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, personally, I want to thank you for spending time with me today, but also sharing your expertise and your knowledge with our viewers here at Well World TV. It's greatly appreciated.
Indeed.
And our last plugs here, obviously join us on Facebook. We're on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. I was smart. All my handles are at Well World TV. You can find me with the same deal everywhere. Reach out to me directly. So if you have interest in up-leveling and sharing your voice in a bigger way, and you have something educational and inspirational to share, reach out to me directly. We'll set up a 30-minute consultation and see if you're a fit for Well World TV. And then our new website just launched, wellworld.tv. Check that out. I have about 7 hosts that went through the very cumbersome process of getting a new channel launched. And I have about 15 other hosts that are onboarding as we speak. So thank you so much, Brother Ben X, for joining us today. I appreciate it. And I'm sure our paths will cross again in the future.
Indeed. Thank y'all for having me.
You're welcome.